And Jared, I know Ian Bush is a guy you like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a guy who I talked to Coach Flynn about, and right like the guy who just wrestled before him, this is a guy who is from West Virginia and is who Coach Flynn is saying is doing the right things inside of the classroom, outside of the classroom, inside of the wrestling room. He's going to be a real future leader and one of those core guys in the coming years.
Again, very aggressive start for Bush.
Nice job with catching his foot coming through there, and he got Bush in some trouble there. He's going to get, well, the danger and then a 2 near fall and 2 reversal. So 5-2. Did a nice job catching him, but also Bush did a nice job of fighting through that real fast.
First 40 seconds, 3-2. Homet leads Bush. Jared, you mentioned Bush from the state of West Virginia, from Cameron.
That move right there kind of goes back to exactly what we were talking about in the tightest match too. It's a very useful defensive move, the Jonesy, but at this high level, it's so risky because yes, you may get the takedown, but then you're in that scramble position from it, and a lot of bad can come from that, even if you do hit it. Nice offense there.
Bush falling behind, trying to battle back.
I'd like to see him drive that forward, actually. There we go.
Does a nice job grabbing that ankle, and he's putting his shoulder in his thigh there. Kind of bending over a little bit, puts the pressure right on the back of that hamstring, and it is not comfortable at all to be being hit in that.
Homet's done a nice job defensively on defending the shots. Obviously got his own takedown and near fall there, but made Bush work really hard for that takedown too.
6-5, Homet. And Bush to work from the top position. Both of these wrestlers can be considered local. Homet from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, just right up the road on I-79. As there's a point. 1 point for Glenville. Homet from Glenville State allowed to increase his lead. And now Bush back to work offensively. Bush, one of the individuals for West Virginia that had success in the Southeast Open last weekend. He went 4-0, won his weight class. Beginning his redshirt sophomore season.
Had an upset over a ranked kid from North Carolina. You know, just an amazing start to the season for this kid. You know, really impressed me in the wrestle off. Getting a hard-fought win over Dennis Robin, who really did a great job for us last year, but just steps up. And like Coach Flynn said, he takes those opportunities to excel.
Well, that whistle before he could score after a nice scramble.
Yeah, they said he was out. Might have actually hit on the floor. So the one thing is he struggled a little bit in finishing a couple of those shots, right? And it's just a little indecisiveness in some places, and depending on how comfortable he is, and it's possible that getting that little trip on your back in the beginning makes you a little cautious in terms of how you're finishing, which is now kind of in your head a little bit. So, but you got to work your way through it. You got to keep fighting that.
Bush starts from the top. Jared, you mentioned Bush's upset win over number 19 Gavin Kane of North Carolina. That was last weekend as part of his individual win at the Southeast Open. Now the ride time a factor for Bush here.
Really impressive tournament for him last week. He not only gets the upset in the semis, but then the wrestler from NDSU who ended up actually knocking Dennis Robin into the consolation bracket. Bush really handled him well in the finals. Wrestled a great offensive match and really put up some points on the board there, winning 11-2.
And this is Bush's time. 18 wins last year as a reserve into the starting lineup. Solidified a spot. Again, a great start with the win at the Southeast. Trailing here, though, as we're inside a minute into the second period.
Well, he slowed his pace down a little bit, and he's got enough riding time that for the time being anyway. He's got to quit carrying him with that underhook. So he'll try to pull the underhook down, try to keep pulling him down, and then pop underneath there and get that another shot again.
Go ahead.
You can tell when people are starting to get a little bit tired, right? They start leaning forward, and then they're not bent at the knees. It takes them longer to get to the place where they can shoot, or longer to get to the place where they can defend. So this has got him up in the air again. And there he's got it.
Sweep of the leg as he completes that. That's nicely done by Bush here in the final seconds of this second period. Now you want to maintain that control here for the final few seconds.
Most definitely. The last thing you want to do is give up an escape with under 7 seconds left in the period.
We'll restart with just 7 seconds left. Homet tries to get up, but again, Bush maintains that control. So guys, we'll see if Bush can complete the comeback here in the third period.
Here he does a nice job of getting better angle, and then decides eventually this time kind of trip and pull him backwards, which I think is what he was trying to do the first time, and he got a little caught up in that.
1 point.
There's a quick escape.
Yeah, that puts Bush in the lead. And this third period, all about conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who can outlast their opponent.
And, this is a tough matchup for Ian, Kyle Homet is a very, very good wrestler. An NAIA runner-up last year for Life University, was a huge part of them being runner-ups last year in that tournament, taking second in the nation, and then gets here to Glenville and is surrounded by great wrestlers around him at his weight. This is a guy who is conditioned. He's a veteran, a fifth-year senior transferring to here, and really goes out, gets his points on the board early, and Ian has had to work all the way back now throughout.
In Bush's credit, he's done a nice job of working his way back, right? He didn't panic, just maintain your composure, keep working the stuff that you need, keep getting to your spots, keep doing your things, and finds himself up by a point, almost 2, not quite 2 yet, but
once again showing the discipline of Coach Flynn's team.
Bush on the defensive here. And we're down to the final 30 seconds. That's a lot of work in any sport. It's a lot of work to come from behind, and that's what Bush has done. You expend a lot of energy.
Yeah, and that was a tough flurry there. He had really good head position throughout that. I really thought he was going to get in on a leg there and finish one just on flurry from this collar tie.
So he does that collar tie pretty nice, and when he's snapping him down, he's got to keep pulling him forward.
Great.
There's a takedown with 6 seconds left.
And we've got the whistle with just 3 seconds to go.
Wow. That was a veteran shot right there. As you said,
his feet together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one that's going to win him the match. The final seconds come off the clock. And Homet celebrates a very nice win over Ian Bush. And we're back after this on ESPN+.